All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a concept that could totally flip the script on how you think about performance and well-being. And here's a hint. It has nothing to do with your calendar or your to-do list. Nope. We're talking about a resource you've probably been completely overlooking, your own energy. And hey, this isn't just some vague idea. It's a full-blown crisis, and leaders at the very top, like Microsoft's chief people officer, are sounding the alarm. From the front lines to the executive suite, there's this feeling that our collective battery's just running on empty. And you know what? The data is right there to prove it. A recent study found that a staggering 53% of managers feel burned out at work, and their teams are right there with them, with nearly half, 48%, saying the exact same thing. We're way past just having a bad week here. This is a systemic problem. For decades, we've all been obsessed with time management, right? We schedule every minute, we optimize every task, and yet we still feel totally drained. So here's a question. What if time was never really the issue? What if the resource we should have been protecting all along is our own internal fuel tank? This really gets to the heart of what we're calling the human energy crisis. See, we're living in this always-on digital world, and it's leading to this widespread digital exhaustion. The old tools, like just managing our time a little better, they just don't work anymore, not even close. So what we really need is a complete paradigm shift. The new frontier of high performance isn't about cramming more stuff into your day. It's about being strategic with your personal energy, cultivating it, spending it with intention, so that when you show up, you're really truly showing up. Okay, so if we're going to manage this new resource, we first have to understand what it is. And that brings us to the science of emotional energy. Now, I want to be super clear. This is not some fluffy, feel-good metaphor. We are talking about a real, measurable thing that happens in your mind and your body. So what is it exactly? Well, one definition calls it that feeling of confidence, of strength, of enthusiasm. You know that feeling when you were just in the zone? That is high emotional energy. And from a pure physics standpoint, it's even simpler. Energy is your capacity to do work. The more emotional energy you have, the more you can accomplish. Period. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Researchers are starting to apply concepts from, get this, thermodynamics to how our minds work. Think of it like this. Negative emotions, like stress or frustration, are like a big, wasteful fire. They burn hot and fast, dumping energy and leaving you drained. But positive states, they do the opposite. They actually absorb and store energy, building up your capacity and boosting your creativity. So, the goal is obviously to spend more time in that positive energy-building state. But how do you do that systematically? Well, two performance psychologists, Dr. Jim Lower and Tony Schwartz, developed an amazing model after studying elite athletes, and they realized it's a perfect fit for professionals. They call it the corporate athlete framework, and it's built on this high-performance pyramid. It all starts at the bottom, with the foundation, our physical energy. This is about the quantity of energy we have. We're talking sleep, nutrition, movement. If this base isn't solid, the whole pyramid just crumbles. You can't have great emotional or mental performance if your body is running on fumes. The next level up is emotional energy. And this is all about the quality of your energy. Is it that positive, optimistic fuel that comes from seeing challenges as opportunities? Or is it that negative, draining kind of energy that comes from feeling threatened and just trying to survive? That quality changes everything about how you perform. Building on that, we get to mental energy, which is all about focus. It's your ability to concentrate, to think clearly and strategically. But here's the catch. You can only focus the energy you actually have. Without that strong physical and emotional base, real focus is pretty much impossible. And right at the very top of the pyramid, you have spiritual energy. Now, this isn't about religion. It's about the force behind your energy. It's your why. It's your connection to a purpose and values that are bigger than just the task at hand. This is what gives you the resilience to push through when things get tough. So here it is, the whole model in one place. You've got physical quantity, emotional quality, mental focus, and spiritual force. And just like a world-class athlete, to be a true corporate athlete, you have to train and recover across all four of these interconnected areas. All right, so the theory is great, but let's get practical. It's one thing to understand the pyramid, but how do you actually use this stuff to get your energy back in the middle of a totally chaotic workday? Let's open up the toolkit. Let's start with one simple but really powerful number. People who take little micro breaks just to move around during their day report, on average, a 25% reduction in fatigue. Think about that.
That's a massive return on investment for just a few minutes of your time.
And that's the power of what we can call high-impact micro-rituals. These are tiny, strategic moves that take less than 2 minutes, but can completely reset your body. Things like a quick walk to get your metabolism going, or even just some paced breathing, like breathing in for 4 counts and out for 6, to kick your body's recovery system into gear.
But hey, recovery isn't just physical. We need tools for our minds too. And one of the most powerful is a technique called cognitive reframing. It's basically a way to challenge those automatic negative thoughts that suck all your energy and consciously shift your perspective.
And the best part? It's a skill you can learn. The process is super simple. First, you just identify the negative thought. Second, you challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? And third, you replace it with a more balanced, realistic one. It's a simple ritual that puts you back in the driver's seat of your own emotional state.
And looking ahead, this whole idea of managing our emotions isn't just a personal strategy anymore. It's actually being built into the world around us. The future of optimization is going to be emotion-aware.
I mean, check this out. Early research on smart homes that can adapt to your emotional state, by changing the lights or the temperature, the results are incredible. We're talking about a nearly 16% improvement in energy savings for the home and a massive 27% increase in how satisfied the people living there feel. Technology is literally learning to manage energy, both in our homes and inside us. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. If there's one thing you remember, it's this. You have to start seeing yourself as the CEO of your own energy. You need to manage it, invest it, and replenish it with the exact same discipline you'd apply to your time or your money. It's that valuable. So, I'll just leave you with this question. Forget about trying to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Just think about one thing. What is one small, tiny micro-ritual you can build into your day to start reclaiming your most valuable resource? Because that one small step, that's the beginning of your journey to becoming a true corporate athlete.